Good afternoon, family. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one, the number one girl, the Chef JT, not the chef in the kitchen. I'll be chef information. We're gonna do a special about our fallen brother, from Alabama, Nathaniel Woods. He has been executed yesterday. Sad thing about it, he got executed for nothing. There's quite a few evidence that actually shown that he was not there. The brother named Brother Spencer, he the one said that he did it. I already know what's going on and everything. I was talking to my brother Muhammad to one this morning, and he said he see the information man had done job on it, beautiful job on it, brother. And if you hear me, information man, if you can come on, be in the chat and be on the panel, that'd be very much appreciated. And I feel every black man today should talk about this, that this system has not protected the black man. Protect our people, but we're going to say out the black man. So it should be a sad day for our people. Don't want to hear no pride, nothing, anything. Any black man has certain differences between each other, should put this aside. Another black man has been slaughtered, now by the higher courts. Again, got a confession from a brother saying he did it, and saying that Nathaniel Woods had nothing to do with it. I had put the information in the chat. So you can go check it out yourself. So we're gonna wait for some more people to comment. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one, the number one girl, the Chef JT. Not just chef in the kitchen, but chef information. Respect the underrated one existence, respect my family existence, respect the LDBC existence that stands for Lions Den Boxing Community. Shout out to the LDBC. Says people. And you wonder why. That our people is not being protected. Nathaniel Woods got executed for nothing. Open panel. I do got a CashApp. Anybody want to support? So you can support that. You can hit that if you want. Sad day, fam. Sad day for our people. So we're gonna wait for some more people. Come on in. And also I hear from Ricky Smiley show. It's in the chat too. And there was this registered retired police officer. She a black woman. She was talking about jumping the gun and stuff like that. He was there and stuff. But it goes to show that when it comes for our people, they're not even there. It also goes to show there are still black women do not have respect for black man assistants. And I know there are some black women when I just say that they get mad, but I don't care. It's true. It's true. And the one that I was talking about before, a few minutes ago, he admitted it that he committed those crimes. He preached, he got it out timely and timely and timely. Also, one of the attorneys, the late Nathaniel has dropped him his client. That plays a vital role in that too. Cool, gents. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. This is an open panel today. Your information, man. Thanks for coming. I appreciate that. If you can get on the panel, please do. I want you to get on the panel. This should be a sad day for our people, especially black men. It goes to show that we are not protected. It goes to show they do not care for our existence. It goes to show there are some black women don't respect us and they want us to die. And this is all facts. The link is in the chat, brother. So all you have to do just hit that and I get you. It's sad. And every black man that has a content creator, you should talk about this. You should have younger kids there's enough that they could understand this. You need to sit down and talk what's going on. It's not the first time this happened. This been going on for a very long time. He is innocent, so I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. He is innocent. What makes you say that? This ain't gonna be no nonsense today. We're not playing those type of games. All you need to do, Python, the links is in the chat. All you do, just go to, okay? That's what you need to do. Because we're not playing those games today. He is an innocent man. They execute the wrong man. That's all it is. We're not playing those games today. Maybe ain't no maybe. We're not playing those games today. Every time we get executed, it's always a maybe. No. No, that's a lie. Stop it. You gonna hit that. That's a lie. He was not part of it. Stop it. Stop it. No. He was not part of it. Stop it. Stop it. We ain't playing those type of games. No. He was not part of it. He was not part of it. Stop it. The late Nathaniel Woods did not know that Spence was going to do that. He was nowhere around when it happened. Stop it. There goes the link right there, information man. You want to get on. No, we're not playing those type of games today. No way. If you cannot respect that, you can leave. The links is in the chat. You go ahead and check it out. He was accomplished. How he was accomplished, and he was nowhere to be found. There was not no even warrant on that. No. No. Go to the links in the chat and check it out. No. No. I'm not trying to hear that, brother. Well, whoever you are. No. No. We're not playing those games, bro. We're not playing those games, whoever you are. All right, brother. Can you hear me? Mom's the one. You can come on through. Okay. All right. You can hear me, Muhammad Storm. You can hear me, information man?
Yeah.
What's up?
What's going on, brother? Sad day, bro.
Man, tragic.
It's tragic. Hey,
brother.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of feedback.
Oh, Muhammad. Muhammad's the one. You got some feedback. I got
brother. You got to mute because we need clarity in this discussion. Very much clarity. Muhammad one, come back in, brother. But we're gonna if there's back sound, we may have to just mute as we finish talking because we want to be very clear in our discussion. Brother Underrated Darkness, you had a chance to see what I did last night about this issue.
Yes, sir.
And I'm 100% with you. We don't have time for games. I had a chance to read the documents around what happened to this brother, and it was clear in the documents, and they knew it, that he actually was on his knees surrendering himself when the other individual, Kerry Spencer, did the shooting and said that it was a spontaneous thing in which he pulled out guns and did what he did. And this man did not do the actual shooting, which killed these cops. Matter of fact, he was folding his hands back. The documents, and it's reported that he was surrendering himself at the same time when Spencer was doing the shooting. See, come on. So for folks that come up here and want to push this narrative that is not based in facts, they've got to go get their heads examined.
Yeah,
we're not saying that the man is he was citizen of the year,
right?
All right, go ahead, brother. Underrated Darkness.
It's just information, man. You know what I'm saying? We be talking about this ever since we met on YouTube. We touch on this. We touch on this, and the brother is in his chat. I'm telling you right now, I'm roasting you today. I'm telling you right now, if anybody that come in this chat and then you're going to say anything false, I'm cutting your head off. Black man, black woman today, I'm cutting your head off because this is an innocent man has been executed for nothing. And it's not the first time it happened. It is not going to be the last. And it goes to show again and again and again that the system do not have no respect for our people, especially, I'm talking about including the black woman, but especially black men. They do not have no respect. The man was across the street, pepper sprayed, while the brother Spencer had shot those 3 cops.
Right.
He had no idea what's going on.
Right. He was pepper sprayed. I forgot to add that part. As he was surrendering himself, he got pepper sprayed. And then, of course, Spencer himself admitted in documentation, he wrote a letter. He admitted that Woods had nothing to do with the plan.
Go ahead. Okay. I got it.
Woods had nothing to do with the plan to shoot the officers. Spencer has taken complete responsibility for his part in this situation. This is the reason why it is very questionable what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to say this too, Underrated Darkness. You've heard me talk about this. The thing that's crazy is that we've got old buck dancing, buck licking Clarence Thomas, who actually looked at the case, and then for a moment he looked like he found his blackness and decided, okay, I'm gonna give him a stay. And then it was Clarence Thomas, I'm finding out today, who was the final voice and saying, no, we're gonna take away the stay. Now I had to say that.
Yeah, Muhammad's the one. I want to bring you in, but you got the noise in the background. It's overbearing, so you got to go somewhere so we can get you on, so we could definitely hear you. But this is right. But this is the thing about brother. But we got to understand. Ever since Clarence Thomas came part of the Supreme Court, he never been with our people.
As far as I'm concerned, there is no black man on that Supreme Court.
No, none. You ask me, I don't know what color he is. And so, but I would say this, family. I want you to go to Information Man Speaks. I want you to go and listen to that case. I want you to hear the pain that this another black man say this. I want you to hear the pain. We are dealing with, and I mean to put it out, Information Man, and I had to put this out. He is a father. He has worked through the system for a long time. So I can't imagine what you had to go through. I have been out here for a long time. I have witnessed killings for nothing of this system on my own eyes. Me and my brother, my second oldest brother, one time, we was walking to the store. It was a crime was happening. We had nothing to do with it. It was somebody said that me and my second oldest brother had done it, but we didn't do nothing. We had guns had put in our head, our balls, you could name it. I'm gonna get you on Mom's the one, hold on. And then we had to be calm. And the guy came out the store and said, no, they did not do it. I know the family and everything. And I'm talking about this is the mid-'80s.
Right.
Okay? So anybody that come here, I'm telling you now, I'm cutting your head off. Don't come with no nonsense in here. Nathaniel Woods got executed for nothing. And he's not the first, and he's not going to be the last. So when people think that this system is here for our people, no. Now people say, oh, I can't believe I see it in a lifetime. What do you think? Why you say something stupid like that?
Mm-hmm.
This been happening for centuries and centuries, family. Modern day lynching. There ain't no such thing, no modern day lynching.
Right.
Mom's the one. I'm going to come back on. I'm going to get you back on. Come back on. And so today, and I know it's going to be some people going to be saying, oh, Nathaniel Woods, he was no angel. No. We already said that. The point is, there's a man in Alabama got executed for nothing. And the evidence was on his side. And the system has deliberately failed him. And that's the facts. Information Man had brought it up. I even put the information in the chat. Go check it out yourself. You can Google it.
This is what I want to do, Underrated Darkness. I have a link that I just found. And let me read just briefly what this is about. Check this out. It's an article.
Mm-hmm.
And the article talks about execution by race and race of victims. And 82% of the study reveals that race of the victims was found to influence the likelihood of being charged with a capital murder. or receiving the death penalty, i.e. those who are murdered, whites were found more likely to be sentenced to death than those that murdered blacks. So when white people do harm to us in this way, they're least likely to be sentenced to death. When black men commit any types of crimes in which white people end up dead or otherwise, they're least likely to be given a death. Black men are least likely to be given a death. Their white men are least likely to be given a death penalty when they kill us than when we kill them. I'm going to put this link in the chat room.
Go ahead.
And let everybody mull on this. Now, let me just give you this information here, just for people that are in the chat room who haven't seen my content. I have personal experience dealing with men on death row waiting to be executed in the state of California, where currently we have a moratorium on this because it costs, brother, damn near about $1 million for a state to go through all the politics of taking a man's life. Okay, wow. Brother Darkness, check this out.
Okay.
Where I work at, there's a mental health facility. We used to take in what we call condemned inmates from San Quentin. When a man who's on death row wishes to take his own life, we do everything to stop him, to give him treatment, to maintain him to stay alive until such time that the state decides, once all the appeals have ran out, all the things that can happen that can prolong it, then the state will say, okay, thank you. You kept the man alive. You kept him stable. Now we're going to decide when it's time for him to die. We're not going to let him take his life. You see the dichotomy of that? You see the how weird that is. The man, you're going to keep him alive until the state can take his life. That's the system of the prison industrial complex system that we're operating off of, folks. Let me put this link in the chat room, underrated. Go right ahead, brother.
Wow. Hold on. This
all right. So I put the link in there. Everybody check that out. This is a serious problem. And I'm going to say this. It's not popular to say, brother underrated, but we have too much cowardliness within our community because when things like this happen, there should have been black people across the board should be making more noise about this. I'm probably one of a few people who even did a video about this late night. I actually, when I arrived home, underrated, I was planning, I had a number that would direct you to calling the governor, all various entities, and saying, give this man clemency, give him a stay of execution. And then when I left work and I found out that it got snatched away by one buck dancing Clarence Thomas, I said, damn, now I got to do something else. But I was determined to come on late last night and say something about this case, express myself, because it was just on my mind and something just didn't feel right. What's wrong with black people? Why can't we stand up for one another? Why can't we stand up? The man is not a saint. We know that. But he was railroaded and being in a death penalty. You've got other groups of people that were speaking out, while black folks, some of us, are running around silent. We spending all this time on YouTube debating over philosophies. Who's pro-black? Who's a alpha man? Who's a beta man? Who's better, Moors or Islam? All this shit that doesn't really matter in the end. How'd they build the pyramids? We know how they built the pyramids. Is what we're doing today. All this stuff that we talk about, and then when it really comes down to really taking action and doing something to contribute to what happened to this brother in terms of speaking out about it, and maybe even calling the phone number that I was prepared to give everybody until I got the tragic news. Nobody's doing nothing.
Yeah. I'm just saying that, and I know there are some of us. You can hear me, information, man?
Yeah, I can hear. I'm just, I'm kind of upset right now.
No. Okay, it just for me that
I'm listening to you. I can hear you, brother.
It's we want to pick and choose what issue to talk about, and that is a danger because that's when our mindset and ourselves become complacent. I'm tired of us to be complacent. I want us to talk about this. We need to bang on this, and we need to talk about it. And the ones that is in alignment with this suppressed system, they need to be called out. Like Chuck D. Chuck D, you're going to be on Sanders, but you're going to let this. I talk about that later. I talk about it because
Well,
I didn't want to talk about, but I could say that. But I would say this though.
Well, no. See, underrated. This is the point, though, brother. Here you've got two black men, or a black man who tries to marginalize another black man that he has known all his life for the support of a white man who has these socialist views, who ain't going to be elected. You're going to break up your relationship with that black man because he's saying, no, my politics are a little bit different than yours, Chuck. I don't want to get up there and support him, but you can go ahead and support him. And then you're going to try to throw him out of a group, and you've known this black man all your life. But yet, where is the conversation about black men that are dying and that are being executed in prison, black men that are being falsely accused? Matter of fact, underrated darkness, if you didn't have a chance, I did a video about the young man who was on the swim team, college student, doesn't have a criminal background, and how the police treated him poorly when he was out with his teammates, having a good time, going back home, and they put guns on this young man, treating him poorly. Nobody, damn near hardly nobody on YouTube talked about that, or just in general in this society. Mass media touched on it a little bit, but the young man was poorly. So as much as people will want to criticize us, brother, for trying to show some support to Brother Woods and his family, what about the black men who don't have a criminal background, who are doing all the right things, and they are being punished and mistreated by this slave patrol police system?
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, but this is what I'm saying. It goes hand in hand, because what Chuck D did to the brother, you might as well say that's lynching too. You assassinating that man's character. Oh yeah, he's on crack. That man, come on, that man been sober for 10 years. That's accomplishment in this system. And I'm just saying that it just for me that when our brotherhood is going to be strong, when we gonna learn to put our differences or whatever beliefs that we in, when we gonna take back our brotherhood and to understand enough is enough. It should be every black man should say something. I'm not saying you gotta bang on it, but it should say something. Okay? No matter if you did anything, black man, or you have a record or you don't have a record. To me, it doesn't make a difference. We still getting slaughtered. We still getting slaughtered. And if it shouldn't be no eye awakening, I don't know what it is. I don't know what our mindset is. I don't know the outrage is going to be. I really don't know. But I'm saying this, that while I was looking at the podcast last night, I'm not saying I was stunned. I'm not saying that I was surprised. But as being part of the African descent, and our slaves have paved the way. And while the family is fighting hard, I'm talking about Nathaniel Woods, the late Nathaniel Woods, their family fight for his innocence. And we know he was innocent. And you still, now I forgot, I post on the Ricky Smiley show, I post that in the chat too. I want you to go hear that too. There's a brother, I forgot his name, but I know he's somewhat a journalist, and he was pointing out every point that Nathaniel Woods, the late Nathaniel Woods, was not part of it. He didn't even know what's going on. Pepper sprayed across the street. And then there was a black woman, the retired black woman, that she's a cop, got the nerve to say that he did it. You don't know what's going on, but the brother did point it out and say this. And I want some black woman to say, I want y'all black woman to, when you hear me, I want you to understand it, because this been going on for a long time too. She took the side on the cops and say this black man did something, kind of find that he did not do it. And not one time did not say the mistake that they did. So it actually goes to show again that you got some black women do not respect the black man existence, and especially on law enforcement. And there are some black men that are acting up, who are cops here, they not saying nothing about it. Instead of the blue, this is the evil blue. It really is. This is an evil blue. This is the evil blue. Soul control, whatever you call it. It's like they are not protecting us. So you can go ahead, information, man. You can go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we have a very serious problem in this country as it relates to disparity when it comes to how black men in particular are viewed in terms of our image and how society sees us, and even how our own people see us, our own women. And that's why let me share something with you. I was listening to an audio where the his family members were so happy when they found out that he had a stay of execution. They said, hey, we were looking forward to him being able to see his grandchildren. We were looking forward to being able to go visit him, because they knew he wasn't going to be released from prison, but they were looking forward to rekindling family spirit with him. And then when old Clarence Thomas, along with the rest of that clan at Ku Klux Klan Supreme Court, took it away, it took life and wind out of the family. It really broke them down. It really broke them emotionally. And so we have a family that's hurting. We have a corrupt system that continues to railroad black men with very poor evidence, and they know it, and they still railroad us. I'm looking at something on my article here that talks about Supreme Court vacates convictions in Mississippi death penalty cases, finding race and discrimination in jury selection. So even when black men are going to trial for crimes that can lead us to being on death penalty, they're finding that, and we know this already, that jurors are being racially biased in how they divvy out the decision to give an individual the death penalty. And black men, when it comes to us, they're giving it to us harshly. And this is why I would say to people out there who say, oh, I don't want to be on jury. How do you expect that we can have some jury notificators if we don't have more black people involved in the juries to be able to make decisions about the code? Because white folks and other groups who get on juries, they don't understand our culture. They don't understand us. They only understand what they see on 10 o'clock news. They only understand what they see on television about our image. So black men and women, instead of us trying to get off of jury duty, we should actually be trying to participate in it, because how do you not know? It could be a case in which a black man or woman could be getting railroaded. And now you're going to leave it up to people who don't look like us on that jury And we know that they try to get black folks off of juries. They got me off of a jury one time. They said we got to get that Negro off. He's gonna change the balance. But still, we still got to do everything to flood the system through what? White folks have infiltrated us through FBI, CIA. I think it's time that we start infiltrating their institutions with the agenda to benefit our people. And part of that is infiltrating these jury pools.
Yeah,
it's one reason.
Right. I repost the link to anybody that wants to talk about this. I mean, ain't no case no more. It's open shut. As he's gone. We're talking about information man had talked about it last night. It's like continuation in my end. Again, Nathaniel has been executed 9/10 last night in Central Time for nothing. Let me repeat that. Nathaniel Woods has been executed in Alabama 9/10 Central Standard Time for nothing. He was innocent. Don't say it. I don't want to hear alleged. Don't want to hear that. For nothing. He was a free man. He was free. He had nothing to do with it. What's going on? That brother, that man Spencer had shot those 3 cops.
But see, you know what's another what's also problematic about this, brother, underrated, is the fact that you notice whenever police officers, particularly white police officers, when they are shot and killed by individuals, especially if it's black men involved in one way or another, 9 out of 10 times those black men will go to jail and they will pay a heavy price. They'll get the death penalty. But when cops go around, and let's say what happened to Orlando Castile, who got shot in his car, telling the police officer, "I've got a license to carry in an open license gun state. I got my ID in my wallet." Officer tells the officer what he was about to do, what he had in the car, and he had a girlfriend, a wife, and child in the back seat. And that police officer shot into that car. That police officer is not doing time in jail. That police officer is not on death row as we speak. When you had even those police officers who beat Rodney King damn near to death, none of those police officers are doing any time in jail on death penalty. Matter of fact, some of them got promoted within the ranks of the LAPD Klan division, as I call it. So when they kill us, they tell us when black people get emotionally upset, then they'll find some jack-a-leg preacher to come out and calm black people down and say, "Don't do anything. Be calm. Let the system work for us. Let the law doesn't work for us." And you're trying to calm us down when the law doesn't work for us when they kill us and shoot us. All we got to show for it is black mothers being told, "We're sorry what happened to your son." And then she's got to make funeral arrangements. Where those cops, like the cops that were involved with Eric Garner, choked him out in a legal choke, they still, they might lose their job, but they're not sitting in a jail cell rotting away for the rest of their life.
Yeah. And let's not forget about a few years ago that there's a Georgia man got executed, and they said that he alleged that it was innocent, and come to find out later on, he got executed for nothing too.
Right.
In Georgia. And it seems that this been happening over and over and over again. Now, the technology has been, has been improving throughout the decades. Yeah. Now we're going way back then with that, even before TV came in the picture of our people. Can't imagine how many black men and black women got executed for nothing. We talking about in the millions.
Well, let me take you back on a time machine because it's in your neck of the woods, brother. Remember who was the brother? Was it I think he was an African brother. You know, he came over here from the continent. Remember the brother who was Nogalo? Yeah. He was
back in
'99
in New York.
He was going to his apartment dwelling. He pulled a wallet out of his hand and he was trying to get into his apartment, and the cop shot him like Swiss cheese and then claimed, oh, we thought he had a gun in his hand. The man had a wallet. But did those cops pay any serious price for that? I hardly doubt it.
Over 40 times. Family, over 40 times. Let's not forget about Eleanor Bumpus. This is a national. This is also in New York. They thought she was doing some kind of find that she was mentally ill. She got killed. And I believe she was in her 70s. Eleanor Bumpus. Look it up, yo. And I'm talking in New York. This is where I was maybe 18, 17, 18, something like that. I remember that because it was a New York case. But like fast it came. It became really an international story, and so, and countless others, man. In California, I remember it was a brother. He was walking home back in the late '80s. I mean, you know, in Southern California, he was walking home. And he just got shot up, and they think, oh, what's in the pit? Or they had a gun in the head. He's kind of find that he bringing food for his family from McDonald's. So come on, family, come on, y'all, stop playing, stop saying the left, stop. And each of the cases that me and Information Man talking about, all them cops was vindicated.
Right. Let's not forget, and I know we can't forget this one. Trayvon Martin going to get some snacks from the store he was at his father's house watching an NBA All-Star that year game. He was minding his own business, and a man who was not even a law enforcement officer tracks him down and says that he looked it strange. The young man had stated on the phone to his girlfriend, I've got some weird dude following me. And all of a sudden they turned the narrative into Trayvon Martin being a weed smoker, being a dangerous youth, when wait a minute, he just said he had a strange man following him. And therefore he didn't have the right to stand his ground and protect himself against some strange dude who was following a minor. And yet the rest is history. Trayvon Martin is dead. The family didn't get any justice. And we got George Zimmerman walking around. Let me tell you something. Now I'm about to get real nasty here. Underrated darkness. We talk a lot of stuff, but I'm wondering, George Zimmerman is running around Florida doing all his running off at the mouth all these years, even sold the gun that he used to kill Trayvon Martin and bragged about it. And yet no finger has been placed on his body. Nobody, this man is running around bragging, making money off of it. And he doesn't, I'm not going to get your channel in trouble, but the man hasn't come up to be disappeared. You know what I mean? Okay. The man has not disappeared. And I have to ask the question, why hasn't he not, to censor myself right now, why is he not disappeared? So we know these stories. So we know these stories, underrated. We've heard these stories. We've seen these situations that have happened year after year in which black men are treated by a different standard by this society than other people. And there's just the injustice. There is no justice. There's an injustice system. So That's what I have to say about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Monique Hill. Maybe you didn't hear the news, beloved. Nathaniel Woods, a part of the case of the 3 white cops got shot in 2004 in Birmingham, Alabama. He got executed 9:10 Central Standard Time for nothing. There's a other brother said that he the one shot the 3 cops, execute 3 cops, 3 white cops. He confirmed it. He said Nathaniel Woods has not pulled the trigger at all. Matter of fact, Nathaniel Woods was across the street, pepper sprayed. Okay? Pepper sprayed. And also, I even posted the CNN, because one of the journalists had interviewed Spencer, and he said this throughout all the trials that he said that the late Nathaniel Woods has not pulled the trigger. He didn't even know what's going on. It's in that chat. I want you to pull it up and go look for go check it out yourself. And so this is a continuation with the information man has talked about last night. At first, I was going to do it, but I was going to wait. But I feel that it was today. We had to bring things up, and you know, we just had to understand that this system was never made for us. We were just nothing but crap shots, and they just hold all the cards. And we have to understand it. So anybody that is a parent of our people, we have to sit our kids down. Even the grown-ups, we have to have these discussions. We have to find a way to protect ourselves. And we have to understand, no matter if you're educated, no matter if you're rich, no matter you live in the projects, no matter what, you are still that N-word to them. And they're going to kill you. It's not just the underrated ones saying that. It's not just information man saying that. Look at the facts, and you can go back. You go back in centuries. Nothing has not changed. The only thing is the things got modern, and that's it. Anybody that wants to join the panel, feel free. The link is in the chat. Please join. And then, so what I'm going through today, this is for the family of Nathaniel Woods. I do got a Cash App in the chat, so anybody that wants to donate, feel free. Be very much appreciated. And anybody that wants to sub to the brother right here, you can. He got 2 channels, Information Man and also Information Man Speaks. And it's a sad day for our people. If you don't have no empathy for this, I don't know what's wrong with you. I really don't. You go ahead, Information Man. You go and speak.
I just I think when we ask what we can do, I think what we can do is that we can be more vigilant. We can get involved with making noise about the disparity of black people that are incarcerated under very shady circumstances, under very weak evidence and circumstances. I think we maybe join. There's organizations out there like the Innocence Project. There's various organizations out there that you can get involved with, and you can donate money to. You can get physically involved with what they're doing, their movements. You can. I'm sure they have in each individual city, they have chapters and offices where you can get involved in these type of programs. I think one way, this is very important, underrated darkness. We need to really take hold of really educating our youth and letting them know we got a lot of kids growing up today in this utopia reality of MTV and shaking your booty, and I got my cell phone. They're playing around with their phones. They got, they're texting all day. They're getting caught up in this electronic world that we live in. But our kids really need to know the true realities of what can face them in this world. Okay, that's why I brought up the young man who was harassed by the police, who was part of a swim team at Eastern Illinois University, and the way that they treated him so poorly. And so for those that will say, well, man, you're talking about a guy who had a criminal background. Look, we got black people who get harassed, who have no criminal background, who get harassed in the streets. Okay. So my thing is just to urge people to get involved however you can. It starts with your family, your own household, in terms of making sure you really prepare your kids for these realities that are out here. Mm-hmm. We already noticed that the legal system tends to work for those who have money. That's pretty obvious. It's just like health. If you don't have money, you can't get the best health. Okay. If you don't have money, you won't get the best legal defense. Imagine if Woods would have had top-notch legal defense, right? I mean, top-notch. We're talking about Johnny Cochran. Okay. There's a chance we could be looking at a black man who would not have been executed right now had he been able to have and could have afforded the best legal minds in the business. Mm-hmm. And that's how the system's set up. He or she who has the money can win the day. He or she who does not, God bless you. God pray on you, pray to God that something can change by miracles.
Yeah. And I think that's another issue we need to talk about too, a class. You know what I mean? Class comes with it too. And so us as the ones that has the money and everything. It seems to me, tell me if I'm right or wrong, information. I could be wrong. I love to be wrong at times. But it seems to me that the ones that have the money, you don't hear nothing from them.
Well,
you don't hear it. I don't hear it.
Because the ones that have the money are in a bubble and they're too busy getting on television shows talking about my son wants to be a girl now. You get where I'm going with this, right?
Yep.
We got Negroes with money talking about alternative lifestyles, talking about my son. You should call my son Lisa and not, we got Negroes in those positions pushing this other alternative lifestyle when we have more serious issues to concern. Because I tell you right now, when this injustice system levies down on us, it doesn't care whether you are a black person with money or no money, or you're a black person that believes in alternative lifestyles, that you want to be a girl today, a man tomorrow. They're just going to see you as black, and they're going to treat you as such. Mm-hmm. Now they will treat black celebrities that they like a Wade, who they like. They'll look at them a little bit different, treat them a little bit different until they get out of line. Okay. Yeah. Until they get out of line. Like they loved OJ. They loved Bill Cosby. But once their fetish for white women got too out of control, okay.
Did you know what?
The rest is history.
I'm gonna go more on your point. Oprah,
right?
Gayle King, Mr. Gordon, Michael Tyson,
right?
Who else? Roland Martin. I said Oprah Winfrey. Susan Rice, and the rest of y'all. I ain't hear nothing from y'all talk about Weinstein.
Right. Remember the real reason why Roland Martin is no longer on CNN as a regular fixture is because, remember, he was the one that put out a tweet some years ago doing a Super Bowl commercial which was sort of semi promoting, you know, the alternative lifestyle. And they didn't like that Roland Martin wasn't with that program. And they said, Negro, we're paying you all this money. You coming out here and now you speaking, now you're talking revolutionary. We're going to put you in your place. So they put Roland Martin on a suspension, which led to him being booted off of CNN, which led to him being part of the TV1 disaster for about 10 or 9 years.
10 or 9 years. And also Susan Rice, I hear that, you know, that you want to send an army to Snoop Doggy Dogg. And I'm just letting you know, maybe you didn't hear information, but I'm gonna put it out there. That is a domestic terrorist threat. Susan Rice. And I say it again, that is a terrorist. I mean, that's domestic terrorist threat that you did. Now, you know, now the names that I named and countless others, you see what happened to the late brother, Nathaniel Woods. I don't hear y'all. I really don't hear y'all. It just proved our point. I mean, information has really talked about it.
Well, you would hear people talking if it was their family member.
That's it.
If the shoe was on the other foot, you would have people talking about it. But it's just another, and part of that pathology is that we underestimate, undervalue each other. Therefore, when a black man is executed in this way under very shady circumstances, we're so conditioned to this in this society that we just say, okay, another black man has been executed. Another black man has been shot today. Another black man this or a black woman that. And then you move on with the rest of your day because it becomes commonplace for you. You become conditioned and used to your own people being mistreated by the injustice system of this country.
Yeah. Anybody that wants to support my channel, I do have a Cash App. It's in the chat. JT5300 at Cash App. If y'all want to donate, that'd be great. But at least hit the like button. And the 2 dislikes, thank you very much too. Very much appreciated. That means I got your ear. And again, the one just came in is a continuation of what the information man was talking about. Again, Nathaniel Woods of the case of the 3 Birmingham cops got shot in 2004. And throughout the years, it has proven that he was innocent. He had nothing. I appreciate that information, man.
No problem.
It proves out throughout the years that he was not part of it. And sad thing about it, and like I said before, this been going on for a long time. But in modern time right now, he got executed. He's innocent. He is definitely innocent. All the information man, go to his channel. Information man speaks. He had information. Also, I got information in the chat, so you could put it. Also, he also put some information in the chat too that y'all can check it out too.
This what I'll do because it's my second channel. If you don't mind me doing, I'll put the link to the video that I did late last night, if people want to check it out.
Okay.
I think this is very important because although Brother Woods is not with us anymore due to this, I think, a miscarriage of justice to execute him when he did not do the shooting of these officers. If they can do this to one black man under these circumstances, there are going to be more to come, people. Listen to me again. There are going to be more to come. This situation has set a precedence which will allow them to be able to justify killing any other black man, executing a black man like this under circumstantial situations in which the black man didn't even pull the trigger. So they can use this as the basis to say, oh, we can do it to the next black man who's on death row and this black man who's on death row for the same circumstances in that one. You see what I mean?
And also too, Yeah, you can post that. We very appreciate, and also information, man. If you want to, you can share it wherever I finish the live. You can share this too, please. You can bring it.
Oh, I've already shared it on my in the community tab. I shared it on my Twitter. So I definitely will share. Definitely, I've done that while we've been talking as well. So definitely,
thank you. Appreciate
I'll
that.
share it to some other areas as too. So I'll share it on some other social sites that I use as well, brother. No problem.
Thank you. And also, black women, when y'all think that you're ahead of the black man, or none of this mess cannot happen to y'all, it can happen to y'all too. You better watch out and see, because you're next. You're next. So all y'all, some of y'all be cooning around and saying your little things about it. They gonna come after y'all too. This should be a wake up that it can happen to him, that the late Nathaniel Woods, it can happen to us. And I said this again, and you better understand this real well. Just as Information Man had said it last night, but I'm going to say it my way. This system is not going to protect us. It's never did back then. You could talk about the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. It had never protected us. And understand this too. While we was in slavery, it was still the ones was following the Constitution, not to talk about the Jim Crow laws. And all that is happening right here. Did we make contributions in this political room? Yes, we have. But the sad thing about it, today, what does it show for us? It's not just the underrated one saying. It's not what the information, man. It's not what the people saying. I'm talking about the ones that outside listening. What do we have to show? I'm laughing because I had to laugh because I'm angry. I'm angry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a godfather. I'm an uncle. My niece from New York calls me. Are you okay? Yeah, Daddy, are you all right? That's real. You hear what I'm saying? If we don't wake up on this, and even if someone's in the past, if we don't understand that us as a people, and I could actually go more broad than that, globally, if we don't understand that there are other ethnic groups plays a part of this white supremacist mindset and the policies, that we better talk about it too. We still gonna be we still gonna be the bottom of the basket, and you better understand that, family. There are other ethnic groups that is down with white supremacy. They'll be part of this white supremacist policy for a very long time too, and we better talk about that too. George Zimmerman was not white. Understand that, family. George Zimmerman was not white, but he was under the white supremacist mindset, and he executed Trayvon Green. And he get a pass. And he's not the first one, and he's not going to be the last.
Right.
We could talk about in Minnesota, about that brother.
Mm-hmm.
The cop, they wasn't white, they was Hispanic.
Right.
And he still got slaughtered. So this Hispanic, where you at now? But see, it happened.
This is the thing. This is the thing that bothers me. The media and the politicians, like Bernie Sanders and many other who talk about coalitions and all this sort of stuff, when it comes to DACA and other racial groups, they're always asking black people, where you at? Come on, support us, come on. And they'll put pressure on us. They'll shame us for not being a part of what they're doing, right? They'll try to use our leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King and say, well, Dr. King was about everybody being one rainbow flag. Come on, black person. Then they'll try to put reverse racism on us. But then when black men are catching hell with stop and frisks in New York, when black men are being wrongfully under poor circumstances and evidence being executed in prison, when black men are being harmed by police in this country, when black people overall, men and women, are being mistreated in a country we call America, we do not hear from other ethnic groups in large numbers as a whole. You'll have a sprinkle of different ethnic groups who may get involved in the marches. There'll be a sprinkle, but as a whole, as a wholesale, as I call it, wholesale, you do not hear them caping for our issues. You don't see on Spanish television. Like I live in California, so we got a lot of Spanish TV programs out here, like Spanish news, Telemundo and all of that. I'm sure it's all across the country. And on their shows, and I know this because I've talked to people who are Spanish who understand the language, and I say, hey, do you guys ever talk about what's happening to us and give us support and like that? And they say, no, they only talk about news that pertains to Latin people within the Latin diaspora. Mexico, Puerto Rico, Cuba, you know what I'm saying? All those places, even though we got black folks in Cuba, of course, and we got black folks in South America, but they center it around only their culture, what is best for them. And then they will shame us when we don't become a part of their movement, but yet they're nowhere to be found in our movement, yet they will benefit from social programs that our ancestors marched in the streets for, got dogs and fire hoses on them for. They will get the benefit of the equal opportunity for employment, equal opportunity for education, equal opportunity for housing, equal opportunity. And then when we're catching hell, they're nowhere to be found. And this is why when they talk about DACA underrated, I'm not going out of my way to support the DACA situation, the immigrant situation across the border.
Ooh,
because it's got nothing to do with me, because they're not caping for us. They're only caping for themselves. And that's the truth.
And information, man. You hit something. You hit something, and I want you to check it out. And I want other people in the chat check it out too. The ones in the chat, I want y'all to share my information on there, on my Cash App, the link to the link if anybody want to join the panel and my other stuff, the information stuff. So anybody that's in the mod, I want you to share those right now, please. Now, information, man. You remember Texas El Paso, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Fairly. You may need to refresh my memory. I fairly remember. That's been some time.
Okay, no. Maybe it's Texas El Paso. I don't know, but in Texas, you remember the white supremacists had shot those Mexicans up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Right. That's right. That was not that long ago. That was at the Walmart, and there was a big issue around that. Go ahead, brother. You're right.
Okay. Now you remember the so-called immigrants. They want everybody to support what's going on because it was a tragic. So we're gonna leave it. It was tragic. Right, and they actually on a low in the media. They ask us as black people to support that. They want us to fight for them, right?
Right, that's true.
Okay, okay. Now we in the same age group, safe to say, right?
Yeah, you got a couple more years on me, but we're around now. I'm 50 years old, so we.
Well, all right. So we in the same age group, so you know what I'm getting at. Now, throughout the years that we've been on this earth, and I'm talking about the number ones in the past, they know the same thing too. Other considered slaughter that of our people has been going through. And I'm talking about, now I ain't talking about in global, because global is the same thing. It's the same thing too. But I'm talking about in this country.
Okay.
Could you name one time has the same people had come to our rescue when we get slaughtered for nothing? And I understand this too. All the things that they have benefit is off the backs of us as black people. And I'm not just talking about civil rights back in the 60s. I'm talking about even civil rights even back in the 30s too. Because people don't understand there was a different time. It was also so civil rights. So really civil rights was back in the 1930s. You understand what I'm saying? It was not being mentioned because the media was not refused to talk about that. So that's another thing that y'all need to look at. I talked about that like 2 years ago. But get back to my question, information.
Mm-hmm.
Now, throughout the years that you've seen, all the slaughter that we had all the slaughter and the broken families that we had the piece of this continued deliberate tyranny of our people.
Mm-hmm.
Has any of them has stepped up and said that is wrong?
No. In all the years that I've been around, and let me tell you, and this is the advantage that me and you both have, not, besides just our age. Both of us, let me ask this question first. How many years have you lived in New York? Did you grow up in New York, or did you kind of migrate? I hate the word migrate. Did you move to New York? You know, most black people historically in this country came from the South, but have you lived in New York all your life?
Well, I've been the first 46 years of my life, born and raised in New York.
Okay, stop right there. This is what we have in common, besides close in areas of age. Like you, I spent a majority of my life growing up in an international city. New York is international. San Francisco, the Bay Area, is international.
Yes.
Now, this is where I'm going with this. This is why I can make this inference, because I went to high school with in San Francisco, just like New York, you got every race you can think of. Arabs, Jewish people of Jewish faith, Cambodians, Asians, Japanese, all sorts of people from all over, Italians, French, everything. Over the years of growing up and spending time in the Bay Area, I can never recount or recall a circumstances in which any of these groups within this ethnic diaspora we call California, even people that were from Mexico, the Mexican that were in the San Francisco area, I do not remember them ever caping for any social issue that was happening to black people. Usually when something happened to us, to coin the phrase that my man say? Never mind. I'm gonna get right to the point. I've never seen them cape for us at all. Black people have always, B Miles, my man B Miles 84 always says, hold your own nuts. Black people have always been in a situation where we had to hold our own nuts because no other group comes to our rescue. I've never seen it. I've been in my 50 years on this earth, growing up from a teenager to my 20s, my 30s to my 40s, and to now, I've never seen other ethnic groups caping for us. I've seen sprinkles of white liberals who will come around and may get involved in certain causes, but it's always only a sprinkle of folks, never a totality of folks.
And you know, it seems like, I mean, I've been on your panel information, and you know, we touch on it. Am I correct?
Right, you're correct.
And we go back touching on this. Now, people say, "Oh, you are for humanity?" Yes, I am. But first and foremost, I are for our people. But it seems that when it comes for our people rights, people say you poor black. No, I ain't poor black. I'm for our people, because people want to use certain sayings and stuff. No. I'm not going for no sayings and all that. But I can say this, that There are certain ethnic groups has benefit on the backs of us as people. And it seems that wherever, I'm not talking about me and you because we do talk about it, other people does talk about it. I'm not afraid to talk about it. But it seems that when it comes to things like this, because they go coincide what's going on with the late Nathaniel Woods, but we talk about it. We tend to not want to talk about it because you know why? Because we're comfortable where we at, brother. We are comfortable what this oppressed system has feed us. We are comfortable how this oppressed system has feed our families. And no matter what, we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to rock it anything. We have to understand this, that our culture right now is in trouble. It has been in trouble for a very long time. And that's one brother, he's an ancestor now. That's why I respect of the Lena Horns. I respect the late great Lena Horns. I respect Paul Robeson because they have stand up for our people. They are black who have stand up for our people. But you know this though, right? They never talk about the Lena Horns and the Paul Robesons. They always want to bring up the ones that has given. That has given to the system. They never talk about Nina Simone.
Right. Because those individuals were trying to buck the system. They weren't trying to be a part of it. They're going to always parade and put forth black folks as leaders from the past and currently who want to be and work with the system. The minute you work against the system, they're going to do everything they can to discredit you or get rid of you. So what we have today, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. And this is going to be controversial, what I have to say underrated darkness, so get ready for it. Over the years growing up with our age on this panel, black people have been so proud of having black mayors. Mm-hmm. We've had black mayors in Oakland, Washington, D.C., although I did like Marion Barry, even though he had his problems, but he did do great things for black people in D.C. Back in the day. But all the black mayors that we've had, all the city councilmen that we've had, all the aldermans and all the black this and the black first this and all of that we've had in politics. Mm-hmm. $1 billion question I must ask you and everyone out there is, of all these black mayors that we've had in politicians, where has it gotten us today? Where is the tangibles of having these individuals? Are black people better off today in the 21st century than we were back when we were in segregation? Are we better off for having all these black mayors? I lived in San Francisco. San Francisco had a black mayor in Willie Brown. Right? They even had a black woman as mayor. I think she's still in mayorship now. At the end of the day, the black community, some of the black community still remain in poor conditions. We still get the injustice system. Even under when Obama was president, I hate to say it, more black folks were dying from police officers. When he had Eric Holder, and then the other sister who followed him up as the attorney general, they didn't do a damn thing to help black people. That was tangible. When Eric Holder said that America is a coward, he had to take back his words because he was telling the goddamn truth. So what I'm saying to you is that this whole shuck and jive about black politicians, that we need these black politicians, we've had plenty of black politicians. Now, you live in New York. You've seen plenty of black politician underrated darkness. Mm-hmm. Has it bared fruit for black people today?
No, I could tell you like this right now. As you know, I lost my mother.
Yes, sir.
And I lost my younger brother. And the times that I've been in New York, it has gotten worse. Affordable housing is a joke. In the projects, because I was raised in the projects, and I know other projects and even other neighborhoods, even around New York and even around this country. When I was going to see my family, It was more Japanese. It was more Chinese. It was more Russian living in projects. And people looking like, wow. But I seen this was going on. Even my late father was telling me this. And this is back in the early 80s. He said, and I'm saying, and he's from the South. He's originally from the South. He said, man, I'm telling you, whatever it is, we better buy it up. He was part of the tenant patrol. He was telling people like, listen, let's get together, let's get our money, let's buy some of this stuff for some case like if they want to do, we can still hold on and make money to it. But my point is this, that wherever opportunities was there, we didn't take advantage of it. And look at right now, Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn is going to be looking like Manhattan in 10 years. Matter of fact, within 10 years. Right. I'm telling you, Manhattan, I'm telling you, you're better. And it's not just New York. It's just, as you live in California, you see what's going on. I'm telling you, the more, and then whatever black businesses that we have, they forcing us out.
Well, let me throw this at you because you live in New York.
Not now, but I've been in Virginia almost 8 years, but majority of my life in New York.
But you have enough experience growing up there to be able to answer this question, though, brother.
Okay.
The question is, did black people get it wrong? What I think that black people were sold a bill of goods. We spent all our time believing in the Messiah theory, which is let's believe in a black mayor. Let's believe in getting these people in elective office to represent us. But when you look at other ethnic groups who did get a leg up, by the way, but when you look at other ethnic groups, they seem to have spent more time, or it appears that they have spent more time focusing on business, owning their community, controlling their community, while black people were spending too much time trying to find someone outside of their community to rule over them, or believing that politics was somehow going to save us. So we believed in all these black politicians and these black jack-o'-leg preachers who have left us astray, while other groups are focusing on owning property. So when you look at, for example, when I lived in San Francisco, you very rarely saw Chinese people running around with picket signs talking about, we want Chinese politicians, we want Chinese aldermen, we want this. No, they weren't. You know why? Because the politicians had to come to them and beg them for support, because they knew the Chinese had the economic power. The Chinese were self-sustained in their own communities, had their own schools and banks, and spoke their own language. So you don't see other ethnic groups running around, banging the pavement, because they're too busy building an underground structure, economic structure in their community. Do you know to this very day that even in San Francisco, they don't even know how deep the underground economic system goes in Chinatown? Years ago, brother, when I was a kid, my mother had a friend that she knew that was Chinese. He was a businessman and he grew up in Chinatown. And he told my mother straight up that there's all type of secret underground cities underneath Chinatown in San Francisco. They got secret cabins because, you know, they got gambling and all that going on secretly, right? They got it in New York too. But he said that we got a secret economy that people don't know about because we're insulated to ourselves. Do you understand how powerful that is? Now, black people had something like that back in Harlem when we had the what? We had the numbers, right? Which is nothing but the damn lottery today. I'll rest there, brother, and get your thoughts.
Well, we have not taken advantage.
The damn lottery today.
We have not taken advantage of the opportunities that we had in the past, and we have not built on it. And I think that the ones that have fight for black businesses for our people, you know, I'm talking about the ones that carry the picket signs and the ones that want to be included. We forced them up, like the names I just named. the Paul Robesons, the Lena Horns, the Nina Simones, and some others. We have forced them out. Even if you're gonna go back, Dr. Henry Clark and Dr. Francis, we can go on and on and on. They was telling us what's going on, but we didn't want to listen. Because you know why? Because we want to be included. We talk about the Tulsa, what happened to Black Wall Street. I even talking about Wheatsville in Brooklyn. That's back in the 1800s. Despite they got destroyed, but they actually show us that when we had power, we could have our own. And I think that the sad thing about it, those are memories, yeah, but we could benefit. But I feel that go back to the cake. I mean, let's be honest. Let's go back to what happened to the brother lost his life. Nathaniel Woods. We got millionaires, right, of our people,
right,
but they didn't come to his aid. But you want to come to Weinstein aid. You want to come to Epstein aid. You want to come to Wade aid. But here's a brother that lost his life for nothing. He didn't have no parts of what's going on in 2004.
I remember Gayle King. She never turned on Charlie Rose, and
That's another one, right?
And she never turned on Kevin Spacey of the television program on Netflix, the House of Cards. Matter of fact, she even tried to defend them. So what you have is Black people in these elite positions who will cape for white folks that have done wrong, and they will cape for other Black people in those elite positions and occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
But in the case of Oprah and Gayle, they have been very tight-lipped when it comes to what's happening to Black men. And I would dare to say that Gayle and Oprah, or none of these Black celebrities, have said a damn thing about Nathaniel Woods. Now, you got someone in your chat room who wrote, this is JMJ2121. They had the evidence and did not, and he did not kill the police, but still got executed. Now, if these celebrities can get on air and talk all this other shit, why can't they use their position to talk about this injustice? And normally when you have guys that are on death row that are going to be executed, you have had celebrities speak out. I think, let me be fair here, I think Kanye West made some statements, I believe. Of course, his wife, Kim Kardashian, for some reason, she's likes to be a spokesperson now.
Mm-hmm.
She spoke out, and there was one other person who had some things to say, but outside of a few people, very little was stated. Very little.
Yeah, I'll be fair, but see, this is the thing about it, bro. It's proven that Nathaniel Woods is innocent. He is innocent. Mm-hmm. Not what, and everybody wants to say, what about you? No, we ain't gonna talk about us as everyday citizens that come. We're not talking about us. We're talking about the ones who have the money. The ones that had the money. Not one of them has stepped up and helped out Nathaniel, the late Nathaniel Woods family. And that is sad. That should be anger. And so I'm saying like this, the names that I mentioned in the past, and this about almost a little hour ago, I don't want to hear it. It's in the public. I know they seen it. Not one of them. You're not gonna help them. So I forgot that you were the press system. See, when you sign that contract and everything, there are certain stipulations that you can do. And one of the stipulations, I know you cannot help your people. Only you can help with the ones that wants to play ball. I get it.
Right. Exactly.
So, like again, anybody that want to join the panel, the link is in the chat. Come on and everything. And again, information that has posted quite a few stuff on there. Even he said that he gonna share this live throughout and everything. But I want y'all to go to Information Man Speaks on his channel. That's the second channel. Last night he broke it down. And Eve, let me ask you a question. When you was doing the live last night,
yes, sir.
was you did the live? Did you did the live when they execute the brother, or was before or after or during?
No, I did the live after he was already executed because what my attempt was last night. Once I heard when I was at work, I heard that they gave him a stay. Then I heard them put Clarence Thomas' name out there. So then I was hoping that okay, the brother got a stay. And then what I was planning to do last night was to do a live stream. I had a phone number. I was going to urge people to call, make the complaints or what have you. And then I got the news alert that he had been executed at 43 years old at 9:01 Central Time in Atmore, Alabama State Prison. They took his life.
Oh, it's 9:01. Okay, I'm sorry. I said another time. It's 9:01.
Well, it's okay. He was pronounced dead at around 9:01 last night.
Okay.
On the course Thursday, Central Time. And they said, let me just bring this up. This was in my video too. They said that when he began to die, his breath started to go faint, and then he took his hands like this because I guess he was a Muslim. So they said you could tell he was giving a Muslim prayer. They said he did not have anything to say, that he pretty much just was quiet. His breath started to get faint because of the chemicals they were pumping in his body. And he began to bridge his hands together in a prayer. That was what was reported.
Yeah.
And Carrie Spencer, who actually did the shooting, which this is another thing I find interesting, and I brought this up last night. Don't you find it interesting that the man who actually did the shooting, they said that they don't even know or have a date when they're going to execute him, but they were so fast to execute Woods, who did not do the actual shooting. What the hell? Don't you find that to be a little weird?
I find it very suspect. I want to know that. All right. I want to know that there's something is really going on. I want to know, is it safe to say that Corey Spencer might do a few years and let him out or something? I mean, on the low, they probably just let him go without anybody know, or, go in another city and live his life, because they could do that now.
Right. I noticed when they said they didn't have a date for his execution, what that automatically told me from my experience that he could be on death row if nothing happens to him. Because there's been situations where guys have been on death row and they mysteriously end up dead, right?
Right.
But they'll tell you and me that the guy took his life, or that that no one did any harm to him. But I know from my experience personally, there are situations where guys actually had been ambushed by other inmates or even officers, and then they'll spin another story. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was to stay on death row for years to come, because we have to look at where is his appeals. Because usually when they're on death row, they can appeal so many times. And because, as I said last night, because the courts are so backed up in this country with so many cases, and there's not enough lawyers or enough judges that are going to handle these cases where there's no money in it for them. You got to keep that in mind. Most of these guys that are on death row, there's really no money in it for these lawyers, because they ain't got no money. So you only have big time lawyers take over these type of cases, because it brings what? It brings media attention. It brings name recognition, right? So right now, I don't know if Carrie Spencer has any name recognition or any more juice. that a big time lawyer can squeeze any Charmin out of. So he could be, and even if he puts appeals in, depending on how backed up the courts are in Alabama, he could be on death row till about 30 years. We've got guys, as I said last night, there's about 700 to 800 guys on death row in San Quentin prison in near San Francisco, and some of them have been on death row for so long, even before they put a moratorium on death penalty in California, because the courts are so backed up. I believe Jeffrey Epstein died because he knew too much. He knew way too much, and they had to get rid of him. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Because the way he was found dead, and I know this for a fact, whenever an inmate or ever a man or someone in prison is under suicide watch, there is supposed to be someone on them at all times. How was he able to kill himself if he was supposed to be on suicide watch? Matter of fact, they didn't put him on suicide watch too. They took him off when he shouldn't have been taken off. So there was a lot of foolishness that was going on there. So I would say, because of how controversial the Woods situation is, I think if something was to happen to Spencer, they're going to wait until all of this stuff with Woods dies down, because if he ends up mysteriously not alive anymore, you see what I'm saying? It'll bring too much suspicion. So they're going to let it die down until we forget about this case with Nathaniel Woods, before if something strange was to happen to this other guy. So it's crazy. Underrated darkness is crazy.
That's why I forgot to get the wing. Yeah, but I would say this, but I tell you like this. I think that it would not surprise me, and I hate to say this, that I think his days is numbered, because he constantly is telling the truth.
Right.
And I think that would it surprise me? They say, "Oh, he took his life." Nah, he don't sound like the person gonna take his life. I think it's gonna be something going on.
You know what they should do before this man passes away? Now, I know that when you take a lie detector tests are not admissible in court. They're not admissible. But I think, for what it's worth, I think they still should give him a lie detector test. I think it still would say a lot. I still think it would say a lot, even though it's not admissible in court. But I think if he was able to pass a lie detector test, that would show that he was honest about saying that Woods had nothing to do with the shooting. But that's another reason why you're right. They might want to get rid of this guy because he knows too much right now.
And at the same time, too, who knows? He probably asked for the lie detector test and they denied him. Who knows?
Right. Well, definitely, if you want to paint a narrative a certain way in law enforcement, then of course you don't want the lie detector test. Even though the lie detector test is not admissible in court, it still creates doubt in the minds of the public. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who will say, well, wait a minute, he passed the lie detector test. Maybe there's some truth to this. That would cause public pressure on the system, and they don't want that.
Yeah, that's true. Now, the ones who just came in, it's a continuation with information we're talking about of 9:01 Central Standard Time. Nathaniel Woods has lost his life to execution, death row, and all along people say he was innocent. Kind of find that he was innocent. They execute the wrong person. Corey Spencer, that's his name?
Corey Spencer, that's right.
Yeah, all right. Corey Spencer has mentioned throughout the trials that Nathaniel Woods has not participated. He did not even know that he was going to pull the trigger. He didn't know that he was pulling the trigger. And all along, they had denied this man right. And so, of the continued cowardly of this system had done to us as people, they had executed another innocent black man, another innocent one of our people. All the sign-ups, all the petitions, all the signs is up and everything. And like Information Man says, and he said it in his of his live last night, Clarence Thomas has approved of this execution. The governor of Alabama approved of this execution, and all the evidence had pointed to Corey Spencer. Had said that he the one had done the killing, had shot the 3 Birmingham police officers in 2004.
Right.
And again, he had said, keep on saying it and keep on saying it, that Nathaniel Woods has nothing to do with it. And that's what we talk about. So we talk about other issues that deals with around this. And I'm saying this is a sad day. I'm not even going to say it's a sad day for America. I'm not even going to say it, but it's a sad day for our people. It's a sad day. And this is the time, if you're a parent, legal guardian, or you got an aunt and uncle, or wherever it is, you need to sit down to your kids to get in the room. Right. I know it's going to be unfortunate. I know it's going to be uncomfortable, but we got to get them the truth. And at the same time, family, you have to get them to get in the history, even way back then too. And we have to understand this is the world that you live in. Right.
Let me just say this, brother, Underrated Darkness, before I have to get off here.
I'm getting off with you anyway.
This is the deal. Clarence Thomas is simply maintaining the narrative. He is maintaining the white supremacy. He is basically reinforcing and doing a good job for the status quo. He, on the one hand, decided to give the man a stay. And they say he doesn't normally do that. And then he turned around and took it away. Because Clarence Thomas, to me, like some black people out here, has a self-hate for himself. And if you have self-hate for yourself and who you are, you will try to destroy anything that reminds you of where you come from, reminds you of who you really are. Mm-hmm. And I think that Clarence Thomas, and all the time he's been in that courtroom, he has been a non-factor and has not spoken out anything that has related to black people. Here he was in a position to use some freaking common sense, and he did not do so because he saw in Woods what he sees in all black men. And because he's a black man who thinks that he's special, because he's a Supreme Court justice, because he doesn't live in the hood, because he doesn't have a black wife, okay? He think because he has his butter biscuits, that doing what he did last night was of no consequence to him, because Clarence Thomas doesn't see himself as like me and you. He doesn't see himself as a black man. He sees himself as American. You get what I'm saying, brother?
Yes, sir.
He sees himself as a accepted individual within white America.
Yeah. So y'all know you get ready to get off and everything.
Thank you, brother.
I know. Yeah. Do you want to have your last remarks?
I think what I just said was my last remarks. I couldn't put it any more. I want to thank you for having me on, and thank everybody in the chat room. Make sure you share the video. I'll definitely be sharing this video some more, brother. So peace to you.
Peace to you. And Amy B, thanks for coming. Kerry Spence, thank you. And if anybody that wants to subscribe to Information Man, feel free. You got Information Man Speaks, Information Man. So, matter of fact, it's in the chat. You can go support anybody that wants to support the Underrated Darkness. That's my YouTube channel. Feel free, support. Hit the like, hit the sub button and everything. All right. I would say this: you're a human being. A human being has lost his life for nothing. And the sad thing about it is African descent. This been going on for a long time. And we still got some of us as a people that have money and they don't want us help. The late Nathaniel Wood's family out. Even the sister had came out and ride for his brother, rightfully so. Again, this sister has executed the innocent man. The one has pulled the trigger, has set it out already that he the one did it. Nathaniel Woods did not know what's going on. And out of all that, they still took his life. And it should be a sad day. Now, people, like I said, it should be a sad day in America, yeah. But it should be a sad day for our people. And the system actually let us know. And I'm going to say this, and I don't care how people feel about it, that we don't count. So if you have any kids, if you have any mother, father, if you have sister, brother, niece and nephew, cousins, whatever it is, friends, hold them tight and let them know they be loved. And let them know how the system is. That even like your own kind cannot protect you. Clarence Thomas, only black judge, black man, had turned his back on the late Nathaniel Woods. He'd been turning his back on us as people for a long time. You have a Hispanic judge, Moore, has turned your back of black people. But you got your rights from us. You turn your back. So it goes to show that America does not protect African descent. Then go one day more, don't really protect the people. But I'm saying African descent. So I say this. And the victims that lost their, that the cause lost their life with, wish you the best. Hope you get through it. But the family of the late Nathaniel Woods, my heart goes out to y'all. My heart goes out to y'all and the rest of the underrated one family, LDBC family. Our hearts go out to y'all. That's all I can say about that. I'm just gonna get off this and that's why it's so important us as black men. We gotta stick together, man. We gotta stick together, man. We gotta find our way to keep our family together, to give them the truth. And the black women, don't think that it can happen to you too, because it can. If you know, if you're with a black man or you're with your child, tell them that you love them. And I can't imagine that you're really afraid now. Rightfully so. Because this tyranny has been going on for centuries. And the ones that looks like us that work in the mainstream media, shame on y'all. Shame on y'all. So I'm gonna say, man. Again, shout out to the family of the late Nathaniel Woods. You're with the ancestors now. And I know you're protected now. And the ancestors gonna make sure you're all right. Wow. This USA. This USA. On that note, good evening, good afternoon, good evening. Till next time. My thanks for the ones who showed up. Thanks for come to my channel, The Underrated Doc. It's yours truly, The Underrated One, the number one grinder, Chef JT, not just chefing in the kitchen. I be chefing up information. Respect the Underrated One. Respect my family. Respect the LDBC family that stands for the Lions of the Inboxing community. Sad day. Good Daniel Woods, man. Hope you all right with the ancestors, man. You'll be all right. Be all right. Of that note again, man. Till next time. Good evening, good afternoon, good evening again. This one is Ghost.